good morning, good afternoon, and maybe early evening for those of you all over the world. We welcome you to another version of Conversations with Geoff. And we want to thank all of you who have been following us. And for all of you new folks, welcome to the family, welcome to the community. I want you to know that you've made the right choice. And please, 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 all we ask is that when you come in, let us know where you are, where you're coming from, and your name. And don't be bashful, right? I mean, this is, even though it's virtual, it is a conversation, right? And we want you to show some love to our guests when they come in, and then drop a note if you have a question or something really resonates. Just blow it up, blow up the chat, and just communicate via the chat. I will forewarn you, though, I may not read a lot of the chat only because we don't want to be here all day. Everybody has things to do, but I want you to know that we do look at it and we make sure we respond if there's any questions we haven't got addressed, because this is important. Your time is important. And today, if you didn't catch the commercial yesterday, you're going to be buckle up your seatbelt, baby, right? The Big Papa is coming. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway, for those of you that don't know, and those of you that do know, the mission around Conversations with Geoff is collaborative to impact 1 million lives through my message and the message of our speakers and the folks in the community about becoming aware of the conversations they're having with themselves, about themselves. Yeah, that stinking thinking conversation that most people have. And then giving you a couple tools to begin to change that, right? And I wrote something down. I want to be specific today on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, for example, conversations that show up around fear, right? So when you're frightened for good reasons, or when you have that fear of change or fear of success or fear of that, everybody's got their own bucket of fears. When that shows up, what's that conversation do to your thought process? What's it do to your verbal communication? What's it do to your energy? Right? Your emotions, those 4 things, man, those are impacted all day long. And we're talking about being aware of it and then taking some simple things that you can say immediately. I say them all the time. You guys know what they are. I will, I can, and I must. Right? Anytime you start falling down that hole, stop and say, not today. Today I will overcome my fears. Today I will change the direction my life is going in. Today I will not be afraid. And I love to say this, I will not be denied. Nothing will stop me from reaching my destiny. I will not be denied, baby. That's right. So anyway, I just remember that it's possible to change your thoughts and change your life, right? So let me get to what we're here for. Our guest, he's the founder of Connections Project. He helps professionals who are struggling to reach their full potential. To reach their full potential because they feel not believed in, misunderstood, and unappreciated. How many of us have felt that way in our lives? By leveraging the most valuable asset we all have in currency, connection to themselves. But see, as a child, Chris never felt seen. Left him feeling lonely and insecure. His lack of self-worth and fear of rejection held him back a large part of his life. After learning, though, to connect to himself, allowed him to step into his confidence, build powerful relationships, and own the big name, Big Papa, right? And he says this, he's dedicated the past 20 years to empowering people All right, here we go. All right, it's one up, one more to go. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh man, hey, thank you for hanging in there with us, and hope those folks that were in will come back. But you know what? Let's get to it, Chris. You know, I know you're a busy guy, and thank you so much for hanging around here, man. A lot of people would have ran away when the power went down or whatever happened to us. But thank you for doing that, and let's get right to it, man. What's happening?
Man, not much. Staying busy and just trying to make as many connections as I can. And sometimes an old stinking thinking comes in like, I don't know if this is going to go. I just say, I will, I can, and I must. So it makes me never go away.
That's it. That's it, man. And I want to thank you. And I'm so glad we had, for those folks, I didn't really give a background. You know, this guy, he was one of, made it to the top 12 what was it, 27,000 folks? And then maybe narrowed down.
Actually, 70 out of 70,000, there were 70,000 registered. So out of 70,000, got to make it down to the top 12.
Yeah, he made it down to the top 12. And I met him because I was in the top 130 and didn't get beyond him. And he was there, and he just, I believe his message is just unbelievable. So, man, let's kind of, I know you're on a limited time schedule, and we already burned up about 12 minutes of your precious time. So tell us who Chris is, man. Big Papa, right? I mean, I read the highlights. But what makes you tick, man? You know?
Well, I'll tell you, I think without a shadow of a doubt, more than anything, I'm still just a big kid. You can kind of tell from my haircut that deal. But, you know, a lot of things happened when I was a kid that shaped my life. One of the things I remember is I loved PE. That was my favorite subject. And I remember in the 4th grade, I was so excited about getting to go to PE. And I was just thinking, you know what? This is the greatest thing in the whole entire world. And we went outside, and I'll never forget, in my class, we had 21 kids. And so it was time to play kickball. So our PE teacher, Miss Pettiford, said, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick John and Jack. And John and Jack, they're going to pick players. And when they pick players, then what we're going to do is we're going to have a team, and we're going to play each other. So John and Jack started calling Sally and Joe and this person and that person. I don't remember all the names. I do remember when we got down about to the 14th person that I was like, oh, my God. I don't know if they're going to pick me. And then all of a sudden, number 15, 16, 17, 18, I was thinking, surely, now they ain't but 3 of us. I know I'm better than them 2. I know I'm better. And you know what? I didn't get picked that day. And, man, I was devastated. But it was even more devastating when one of the kids on that team said, well, y'all can have him because y'all will lose for sure.
Whoa.
And that was a day that kid took from me a joy and a confidence, my excitement, everything you could imagine. And so the game starts going, and sure enough, it's my time to get up there. It's my time to kick the kickball. And I get up, and there's 2 people on base, and all of a sudden I look and I go to kick the ball, and I'm like, I'm going to show them, you know, you didn't choose me, you didn't pick me, but I'm telling you, I'm going to show you. And sure enough, when I kicked that ball, it was going, bam, right into the center fielder's arms. And I was out. And so we had to swap sides. And I'll never forget that day taker is what I call him, who told me, he said, see, I told y'all you're going to lose. And so about the 3rd inning, probably 30 minutes into PE, it happened again. And sure enough, I said, I'll show them. And I went to kick the ball. And when I did the very same thing. I popped it up. And I was like, man, you know, just with something I love, something I enjoyed, something I was so passionate about, this person crushed me. But I'll never forget, it was at the end of the very last kick. We had the bases loaded, And so I get up to kick the ball, and there was one little girl. I'll never forget her name. And her name was Marie. And Marie looked at me and she says, Big Papa, you got this. You're going to do it. And I was, wait a minute. Hold on 1 minute. And I don't know. She took that day taker and she became a day maker. And I went up and I kicked that ball, and it didn't go out. I wish I could tell you it went over the fence. I wish I could tell you we cleared the base, but I will tell you what I did. I got a single, and we ended up winning the game. And that day, that one young lady changed my life forever because she was a day maker. She believed in me. And so since that day, I've just learned to connect with myself in a way like never before. And because of that, I've been able to step into a confidence. I've been able to build powerful relationships because I know the greatest currency on this planet is connection. That girl made a connection with me and she changed my life. And that's allowed me to do everything I do. And so I do everything in my power to find those people who feel like nobody sees them, nobody values them, that they're not important. And man, I start coaching them and pouring into their lives and believing in them. And I see so much success. It's crazy, Geoff.
Chris, I'm man, what a story. And I'm with you on that field, right? Because that old false lie, we talk about sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us. Oh man, when that kid told you that, I felt that, and to be able to have the angel tell you, Big Papa, unbelievable.
Created something inside of me. I've spent my life doing it, Geoff. One of my best clients I ever had was a pastor, and he had a mega church, run 2,000 or 3,000 people, and he got caught in an affair. And so he was on the front page of the newspaper. People were down on him, talking about him, and just putting him down. And I went to his home, and they had kicked him out of his home. And he was living in somebody's basement. I went to him, and this is what I said. I looked him straight in the eyes, and I said, what you did does not determine who you are. Right. And it's not finished. And I said, so today you're going to pick yourself up. You're going to do what in the Bible a man named King David did, and wipe your face off and let's go. And so we started a roofing business. Not only did we start a roofing business, he ended up planting another church. Not only did he plant another church, he is the largest event planner in the state of Georgia. Not only that, he started a wrestling promotion. Not only that, Gary Lynn started a UFC in the state of Georgia, the first one in the state of Georgia. And all it took was somebody to believe in him. Yeah. Somebody that could take their time and believe in him. And that's all I do. I can teach people all day long, but at the end of the day, Geoff, every person wants to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be valued. And when you give somebody that gift, you'll change their life, and there's nothing on this planet that they can't do. So, man, I spend my time teaching people how to make people feel seen, heard, and valued, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, so you shared with us when you felt for the first time that you were really seen by the comments the little lady gave, Big Papa, right?
Yep.
I mean, and so and we've all had someone say that to us, and man, so you're doing that. What's been the most difficult time with someone that you're pouring into them, and they're just like, you almost get in there, and then you just can't seem to get in, and it happens. What can you tell somebody that's had somebody pouring into them that's like just ready to just like don't feel like they can be seen, heard?
Well, I think that if a person has the tools, and for me, I believe that America and the whole world's under attack. I mean, we've got these things called cell phones and social media that was supposed to connect us. And what it's done is it's disconnected us. Yeah. So now we're trying to get our identity and how many likes we get. We're trying to get our identity, how many hearts we get. We're comparing our behind the scenes life according to other people's highlight reel, and it's killing us. So when you learn the power of connection, there's nothing that you can't do. There's not a business you can't start.
Yeah.
I've started 3 businesses. All of those businesses have made millions of dollars. And let me tell you something. It's funny. People say I'm the greatest salesman in the whole wide world. And you know what? I don't even sell. My saying is this: if you sell, people bail.
Yeah.
But if you connect, they'll write you a check. But Geoff, I'm going to tell you, I've got big checks, brother.
I love it. I'm writing that one down too, my brother. You know,
sell, they bail. They will every time. Connect, they'll write you a check, and love to do it.
What it's all about. When people understand that you really care about them, then whatever else is easy. You know, we miss that part that you're talking about now. I mean, to give back what that little girl gave you years ago, you could see it. I mean, when people's faces light up, right? I mean, it's because you made that connection. And so what can we tell that person that's listening to us now and they're saying, oh yeah, that's all good, and you know, we always have that naysayer, that person that's still needs something else, man. Can you highlight a story with that maybe comes to mind with someone like that you know, was that person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been there. I was in a car accident. I had I broke my back, I broke my hip, broke both my wrists, both my elbows, and was told I didn't have much hope of even surviving the accident. But if I did survive, that it would be hell. And you know what? After 8 surgeries, it was hell. But Geoff, the hell did not come from the physical pain that they said it would come from. It came because I was in a hospital for 1.5 years, and loneliness and depression and all of that began to compound on me. And for the first time, Big Papa felt lonely since he was that little kid, and I was an adult. And so I would go to PT, I would do all the work. I was determined that I was never going to never not be able to walk. And but man, I got so depressed. I was on Xanax, and they were giving me pain pills and all this kind of stuff, man. And I didn't want to live. And there's somebody watching this right now. That's you, because you can be successful. Geoff, I know plenty of people that are so broke, all they've got is money.
Yeah,
that's it. All they got is no joy, no happiness.
Yeah.
But I remember one day I was in PT, and I was just like the person who's watching right now. Like I'm talking to you right now. You're saying, that's me. And the PT lady said, there's a guy who won't come to PT, and we don't know what's going on. Why don't you go talk to him? And I'll never forget, Geoff. I went and I talked to that guy. And that guy made a connection with me because he told me my story. He told me how it felt and how he couldn't get out of that bed. And when he did, man, it helped create something inside of me. I began to learn to connect myself again. And that's one thing I teach and coach. I end up writing a book called Connect or Die that has been bought all around the world, because let me tell you something, if you don't connect, you'll die. If your business does not connect with its employees and your business does not connect with the customer, it dies.
Yes.
I learned how to connect with my family, because if you don't know how to connect with your family, I don't care how much money you make, your family will die. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Not only that, I learned how to connect with other people. And in helping and connecting with other people, what happens is I heal myself. So every time I tell that story about being out there on that kickball field, you know what Big Papa's doing? Big Papa's healing a little more. Every time I share it. And so the power comes from, that's where the magic comes from. It's just getting a connection with yourself and connecting with others.
Yeah, you know, and I felt your spirit, the healing part of your spirit when you shared that story. You know, because there's power in sharing that for the listener, And man, I felt you. I felt another level of love for yourself come from that sharing. Yes. You know, and then when you talk about the hospital piece, a year and a half, oh my God, you know, and then, you know, our stories are meant to be shared. Our stories are meant to be heard by others. You know, and being vulnerable and like you're talking about all this stuff tonight, man, or today, and just as comfortable as we are, just having a conversation, it's going to impact lots of lives. I know it's going to. And I know it's going to. You were meant to go through those things and write that book so that you can help impact millions of lives, my brother. You're already doing it.
Well, you know, Geoff, I've been listening intently to your show, and I love it because here's what conversations do. We don't have conversations anymore. What we do is we have judgments. So half our country, no matter who our president is, we got 50% of the country against them immediately.
Yep.
Since the day that there was an African-American man and a Caucasian man, they've tried to divide us.
Yeah.
We don't have conversations with people we disagree with. We only want to have amen sessions with people that we do believe in. But do you know the power of connection when I can say, hey, I don't agree with you, but I do love you and you're my brother.
Yeah.
And you deserve the right to be seen, heard, and valued by me. And I tell you, Geoff, what you do so great. It's 4 simple steps that I teach, and you do an amazing job at it. 1, stop. Stop what you're doing. Just stop. Put your cell phone down, take the cell, put it down, put face down, cut it off. Stop. And number 2, look. Don't say nothing. Just look. Do you know if you took the time to look most people in the eyes, that you could literally read what was going on in their life? Now, we don't do that.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
We're too busy. Too busy in them cell phones, too busy working, too busy trying to make more money. And we think that's going to bring joy, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then number 3, ask questions. Ask questions. Don't give suggestions. Don't tell them your opinion. Don't tell them how you won. Just stop. 1, 2, look. 3, ask them questions, and then give them the greatest gift ever without judgment. Just shut up. And listen. Do you know how many sales that I made, Geoff, when somebody would come and say, how much is that piece of property? Instead of saying, oh, it's a $1.2 million and it's this and this and this and this and this and this, blah, 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 blah. You got to stop. Look at them. Ask them a question. You want the check? Ask them a question. Why do you need a home? What does a home mean to your family? You begin to ask them, not sell them. When you sell, they bail. Ask them. And then when they say something that you think is stupid, shut up. Yeah. And what happens is you literally allow them to come alive. And when they come alive and they feel important, guess what? They're always going to do business with that person. Because even Geoff's show, most of the people that are speakers, just like me, and I'm telling on myself right now, speakers aren't speaking because they want to change the world. Most of them are just doing it because it's the only time they feel seen, heard, or valued. But you know what? We can give that gift. You don't even have to be on the stage. Yes. You can do it. And I want to help as many people get there. I want them to have success like they couldn't ever imagine. I have, God has blessed me. I went from the kid who had no confidence in the world to I have been on jets with Tony Robbins. I've never paid for an event with Tony Robbins, traveled with him for 2.5 years, went to every single event he had. Not because I'm a great speaker. It was because I connected with him in a vehicle because I stopped, looked, and listened, didn't want anything out of him. I just did like this. Tony Robbins tells me to jump in a car with him. And he asked me a question. What do you do? And I said, I want to do what you do. He said, well, great. I'll pay for it. And now I get to do it. And I've been on stages with him.
Wow.
And it's an amazing thing. It's not my talent, not my good looks, and not what I say. It doesn't matter what I say. It matters what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. So powerful, so beautiful. You know, and you live that. I mean, our connection was brief, and look at where we are today on our first encounter. You know, but then when I call you up, it's like you made me feel like we had, you know, grew up together. You know, and making that connection, and it was genuine. So I said, I gotta have this guy on here. I gotta get him here to let people see. It doesn't matter, you know, how successful you are. It's about the connection. And it's the world so disconnected, Chris, as you've so eloquently pointed out, that to be able to stop, look, and ask questions. I love that story about the property and the real estate. You know, it's not about, you know, it's our service. We're here to serve, man. We're here to serve. You were gonna say something?
Well, just simply, there's nothing greater than knowing that your life matters, because I coach millionaires. I can't brag and say I've coached a billionaire. I kind of did, but not on a regular basis. I have paid for a coaching session with somebody like that. But, you know, we all are the same. Let me tell you the two things we all have. Number one, none of us feel like we're enough.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it's Grant Cardone. At the Great American Speak-Off, Geoff will tell you, people pay $10,000 to take a picture with Grant Cardone. I was in a feather boa with a Big Papa Mafia shirt on. He hollers at me from across the room and said, Big Papa, come here, I want to get a picture with you. People pay $10,000 for that, but he felt like I saw him when he heard me speak.
Yeah.
Because there was a difference. That's the reason why. Connection is the greatest currency you can get. Not money, because when you got money, all you want is more of it.
Yeah.
Trust me. There's not a number I can be happy. Not
That's
one.
right. That's right. That's so true, man. But it's just like yesterday, and we kind of started wrapping it up. You talk about people that you meet that you never see again, and to be able to, as you mentioned way back earlier in our conversation about stopping and listening to people and looking them in the eye, you know, and my wife, man, I love my wife, Chris. You'll have to meet her. She talks about, you know, talk less, smile more, listen more, talk less, praise and compliment everybody you meet, you know, and this person didn't know him, but after 5 minutes, he says, thank you. You don't know what this 5 minutes has meant. And so when I bring guests like you on here, man, that live this also, as we kind of wind down and do that, what can you share with us that you haven't already? I mean, you dropped some powerful nuggets, man. I've been taking notes.
Well, I tell you, Geoff, I want to give you a true story. So there is a African Zulu tribe that taught me one of the most powerful lessons I'll ever learn in my life. And so what that tribe does is they say hello in a different way than most people. And I'm going to write it right here in the chat because I believe that it's all about connection. It's called Salubona. Salubona is the same word that you and I use when we say hello. Now, the difference with Salubona is Salubona doesn't mean hello. It actually means this. It means, and I'm typing it here in the chat, I see you. It literally means I see you. So think about when you're saying that, you can't hold your head down. You can't be looking around. You can't be in a hurry to look somebody and say, I see you.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when somebody is greeted with the word Salubona, then they come back with a word called Sakona. And Sakona means this: because you see me, I come into existence.
Wow.
Because you see me, now I come into existence. Let me tell you something. Here's who I was: a fat, overweight, insecure kid whose parents was going through a major divorce, and one kid stabbed their knife in my back and like to have killed me. But Marie came to me and she gave me the gift of Salubona. I see you, Big Papa. And on that day, she brought me into existence. And so today I own that with confidence. I love when they call me Big Papa.
Yeah.
Love it. And so today, the greatest gift you can give is just, I see you. I see you. And for whoever's out there that's struggling, and you don't think that nobody else has went through it, maybe you've got some secrets that you're ashamed of, and maybe you're ate up with fear and insecurity. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
You're going to do great things. Don't give up, and let's connect.
Yeah, I love that, man. So how do people connect with you, Chris? What's the best way to get over
Well,
you?
you can go. You will go. I am going through an entire website overhaul, which should be done within a week, but it's chrisdorrity.com. And then what we're doing is offering a free book, my book, Connect or Die. That's at bigpapabook.com, bigpapabook.com. It's going to be about a week before it's up. All those were up, but we had so much connection that, of course, what technology does is disconnects us. So we were excited about the initial connection, but we literally shut it down. But if you want a copy of that book before then, you can get it on Amazon, Walmart.com, Barnes & Nobles, Books of Me, and any of those. And listen, I would just love for you to get a copy of that book. Also, anybody that's watching and listening, if you will just give Geoff your name and a phone number, I'd love to connect with you. We do a 15-minute connection call just to check in on you. We don't want anything. We're not going to try to sell you a coaching program. Every time they tell me, oh, we're going to call you and coach me, that means they're going to try to sell you. That's why I bail on those calls. We will have a connection call, and I'll see if I can serve you. And if I can't, I just love on you for 15 minutes and make you believe you can do anything.
Man, that's one unbelievable opportunity and offer. So we make sure that if you're hearing this, you do what he just said, and we'll make sure you get that opportunity to do what I think would be an amazing 15 minutes that we all could use. Man, that's beautiful. Thank you for making that offer. We really appreciate that. So.
Well, I know as we're winding down, I just want to say thank you to Geoff. And Geoff, you are changing people's life, my friend. And it is an honor to be here today to serve with you. And I know you're the comeback king, and I love what you're doing. But I would like you to know, looking into your eyes today, and letting you know I see you, and your best is yet to come. You haven't even scratched the surface of what's going to happen. And I believe in you, and I'm honored about our connection. And if I can serve you in any way, just know I want to do that too.
Hey, bro, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I have no shame in my game to let people know that acknowledgement like that it really means something to me. And to the audience. So, man, yes, sir, brother. So, me too. Wow, man. I hate to let you go, but I know we got to, brother. I appreciate you so much, Big Papa. It's been a blast.
Yes.
Much love and respect, man. And until we chat
again. See you guys later.
Take care. Wow. Hey, listen, as we wind this thing down, please go back and if whatever you have to do to stay connected to get this message, listen to it again, and we'll see if we can get them back on again where we don't have the interruption going on. But man, what did I tell you about Big Papa? What did I tell you about Big Papa? And there's so much more. Get the book. Take that 15-minute call. When you hear this message, reach out to me, leave your number, and let's make sure we connect. And remember, stop, look, and ask questions, and then listen. And when you stop, really stop. And when you're looking, just look. And most importantly, when you ask a question, be intent on hearing the answer. And then ask a question about that question and make the connection. So again, thank everybody for staying here and listening to us, even though we were down for 12 minutes or whatever it was. When you hear this message, show some love. Let us know where you're from. Subscribe. Set up the bell so you catch our next episode. And remember this. You are enough. And everything that you feel, if I haven't gone through it, someone else has. So remember what Big Papa said as he leaned in. You feel like you're alone, just remember, me too. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great day. Stop that stinking thinking. And let's change this world one person at a time. See you later. Bye-bye.